People love to say that they're coachable. The real question is, what does that actually look like? Hey, my name is Chance Brown. I'm the broker owner of CB&A Realtors, and I want to talk a little bit about the idea of being coachable today because I think it's an important thing for growth, accountability, and for building your business. Still today, I have a coach. We have every other week calls, but we talk all the time. I think that having a coach is really, really important because it keeps you on track for things that you sometimes will allow yourself to get distracted from. But it always brings you back to the strategic plan for your business. The question becomes, are you really coachable? Because coachability, it sounds great on paper, and everybody wants to say, sure, I'm coachable, I like to learn new things, or this, whatever. But when push comes to shove, we are sort of creatures of habit. What coaching does is create new habits. In order to create new habits, you have to break old habits, and that's really, really tough. Ask anybody, including me, who used to be a smoker, ate poorly, didn't exercise, whatever it was. Breaking the bad habit is the hard part of coachability, not the making of new ones, because you have an incentive to make the new ones. When it comes to coaching, you have to be able to take what you're doing and kind of lay it bare for somebody else to take a look at, somebody else to poke holes in and make sure that you're doing the right things. But a lot of times that's uncomfortable. And a lot of times it doesn't feel great, especially if it's something you think you're doing pretty well. It's something you know you need work on. It's a little easier, but nonetheless, nobody likes to have their flaws pointed out. In order to understand the best way to really be coachable in a coaching situation, it could be a mentor in your business, an accountability partner, it could be a hired coach, whatever that looks like, you could use AI to keep you accountable in a lot of ways. When I talk about this, what I want to talk about is, are we open to having the flaws pointed out in a constructive way that helps us create habits for the future? Because listen, I can have all the coaching calls in the world that I want to have, and we can talk about business, we can talk about these things, we can talk about that things. But if there aren't KPIs, if there aren't key performance indicators, if there aren't strategic plan bullet points that you are continuously going back and building on, then you're not making progress, you're not creating new habits, and you're not getting either the money or the time or the effort's worth out of that coaching. Before entering into a relationship like that, like I said, it's easy to say that you're coachable, but what you really need to say is, am I willing to have all of my flaws pointed out? Am I willing to open myself up and be vulnerable in a way that accelerates growth? It's not that you couldn't get there on your own, but this is going to accelerate and make it faster.